Hi guys, it's Will here, back once again for another fight card prediction. We're going to be breaking down UFC on Fox, Holm v Shevchenko from Chicago, the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. I just want to say a quick apology on my behalf for missing out the UFC Fight Night 91 video. Me and YouTube had some differences that we had to sort out. Got everything sorted out, and I shouldn't be missing any cards from now on. If you were on Twitter, you would have seen the pics I would have pinned it to my profile. Yet again, apologies. As always, follow the guys down below me. Best fight picks: James Lynch, Severe MMA podcast, Part and Shot podcast, Rockstar Z makes great picks, Flying Brian makes great picks. A shout out to my boy Joseph, who is running DraftKings at the minute and winning big money. Keep that going, because it's great seeing guys out there taking lots and thousands of dollars away from DraftKings. Really good to see, and I hope you can do more for this card. Getting into it, this card I think is one of the worst Fox cards I think we've ever had. It's not a great looking card. Going back and watching fights wasn't particularly entertaining. And if I'm being honest, Holm versus Shevchenko, I don't think should have ever really been a main event, especially for a Fox card. I know this is kind of to see how big a drawing power Holly Holm has got here, I think. But they had Glover and Rumble on this card at one point, and I really thought that should have been the main event. But apples and oranges, it's not the biggest difference in the world. As always, please like, comment, come follow me on Twitter, Will Martin MMA. Comment your picks below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I love seeing what you guys' picks is. I've moved up to number 393 on UFC Pick'em, 73, sorry. So come check out. I think next year I'm going to do competition for us guys on here, see who's the best one at picking from us lot. And you can always come and trap my bets on Carpertake. I had a good night for UFC Fight Night 91 with Lewis Smolka winning me a lot of money, so come follow me on those platforms there. Let's get straight into it. We're going to start down in the heavyweight division with Luis Henrique against Dmitry Smolyakov. Both kind of lighter heavyweights, not probably guys who could actually make 205. Henrique, we've seen him against Francis Ngannou, and he got off to a good start, but he got his clock cleaned by a big shot by Francis Ngannou, and from there it just wasn't. We've kind of went on to see that Ngannou is a really tough, athletic, 250-pound heavyweight specimen who is good for the heavyweight division to see him come through here. We'll speak about him later on the card. Okay striking, pretty sloppy, pretty kind of sloppy everywhere, if I'm being honest with you. Nothing really stands out, but I could see that very much for Dmitry Smolyakov as well. He's fought a lot of cans over there in Eastern Europe, out of Serbia I think it is, and this is one of these fights that could really go either way, but I'm going to go on the experience of Luis Henrique here. I think being in there first and not having those nerves, because you do have them, I don't care what anybody says, will play a part here. So I'm going to go Luis Henrique via knockout in round number 2. Moving on to featherweight division, we've got Jim Ayers against Jason Knight. Now, I was really, starting with Jason Knight here, I was really impressed with him against Tatsuya Kawajiri. I know he lost the fight, but Kawajiri is just a blanket of a fighter to face. He gets you down, he will smother the life out of you like he did in that fight. But Jason Knight was very active off his back, looking for submission. I think he's an Eddie Bravo 10th Jiu-Jitsu guy, so really fun to watch on the mats. Striking, he can always improve in that. He's very flat-footed, kind of really there for takedowns if you want it. He doesn't really feint to the sides. He's straight in front of you, and if you want to take this guy down, a mean blast double could easily get him there. But then you're going into where I think is his strongest part. It's definitely his grappling and his submissions. Jim Ayers, a guy I know pretty well from watching him over here in Europe, the former Cage Warriors champion. Watched him live in Glasgow. Really nice guy, to be honest with you. Came into the UFC, and he's an all-around tough fighter to face. He doesn't really stand out having anything great, but he's pretty well rounded in every kind of department, improving kind of slowly but surely. This is a really close fight, and I want to see the line in this fight, because I think Jason Knight will be the underdog. Jim Ayers is coming off that no contest with Cole Miller. Before that, he got stopped by Chaz Scaly. I think Jason Knight has a chance here. Jim Ayers is a really solid fighter. So someone like Knight, I think he has to raise his game in this one, get off to a quick start, and then see if he can get the fight after maybe a round and a half. And then I think it might be playing into his wheel a little bit more. So tough fight for me to pick. I say tough fights, I'm going to go with underdog. I've said it all year in my videos. I'm actually going to go with Jason Knight. I think he'll be the underdog. Haven't seen the line. I'm going to go with Jason Knight, and I'm a little bit sceptical with that pick, but I think he's got a chance. So Jason Knight via decision. Welterweight division with Hector Urbina against George Sullivan. Watching tape on this was not great. Hector Urbina, I really don't think he should be in the UFC. He's 1-1. He beat Edgar Garcia, I think it was, at UFC 180. Then he lost last time out against someone I cannot remember. Let's see who it was. Bartosz Fabinski. And talking about blanket over fighters, Bartosz Fabinski is just that. He gets you down, he lays on you, moves around, never gets pulled up by the referees, but he does enough to keep you down there, and he easily wins 30-27 like he did in that fight. George Sullivan, on the other hand, he got taken out last time by Alexander Yakovlev with it was actually a beautiful finish, a nice 1-2, put him down. But overall, he's a really tough, grinding fighter to face. Came in against Mike Rhodes, a good buddy of mine. I think any other day of the week, Mike Rhodes would beat him. That's just my opinion. I think Biggie would beat him. And then he went on. I think he beat Don Waters. Then there was that loss to Yakovlev. This, I think, is more George Sullivan's fight. He puts him against the cage. He can beat him up with the clinch, and just I think he's just a little bit better, a little bit tougher as well than Hector Urbina. Urbina is a tough fighter. He's got a lot of grit and determination. But I think Sullivan has actually kind of got more of that. So I'm going to go George Sullivan with a very sloppy decision. Alex Oliveira against James Moontasri, welterweight division. Nice to see James Moontasri go up. I think he struggled with the weight cut to 155. And last time against Anton Zafir, I mean, Zafir is not a UFC caliber fighter. I don't even think on like your legacies and your RFAs, I don't think he'd win many fights on there, if I'm being really honest with you. Before that, James Moontasri won that fight via spinning back kick, and then I think he followed up with a fist, I believe. Before that, he lost to Kevin Lee, got submitted in that one. Kevin Lee is, and we've seen a few weeks back, he is a guy that he's going to beat good fighters. He beat Jake Matthews there, beat Cody Pfister, lost to Joe Ellenberg in a very kind of close, controversial fight. I think he's got a taekwondo background, if I remember right. Really fluid, nice striking, nice footwork. I think he gasses really easily though. And this is where Cowboy Oliveira can come in, because I believe that Cowboy, he's a bit like a kind of spider. He kind of grabs you from all angles and he catches you in the clinch. He tried to do that with Cowboy Cerrone, and that kind of fucked up pretty much for him straight away. He got down there, and Cowboy's just a beast down there. I like Cowboy Oliveira in this one. It's hard to pick James Moontasri. Maybe on, I was going to say counter move there, but DraftKings, Moontasri might be a pick of mine for if he's a low dollar pick down there. But I have to go with, I think, the overall better fight. I think that's Cowboy Oliveira. I think he's going to find a way to get it to the ground, and as we've seen in the past, that Moontasri can get prone to being submitted. So in that case, I'm going to go and pick Alex Oliveira via submission in early round number 3. Lightweight division, Michel Prazares against J.C.Cottrell. This is, I think, pretty much a gimme fight for Prazares. If he can't win this fight, he doesn't deserve to be in the UFC. Kind of another one of those blanket fighters. Doesn't show very much skill-wise when you watch the tape back on him, except for he's tough. He's kind of hard-nosed. He will come forward. He will try and put you down, hold you down there. But none of his skills really jump out. Decent submissions, but he is definitely prone to being against a kind of elite striker. He will get counter-punched very easily. He's very flat-footed, very in front of you, and you can, if you feint and move off, you can catch him with big shots, big leg kicks as well, kicks to the body. But this is a fight made from J.C.Cottrell. I think he was a lightweight champion in Legacy. When I watched his fights, nothing particularly great. Coming in the UFC here against a guy who's been in here a few times, you have to go with experience here. I just can't see how Cottrell's really going to win the fight, but this is MMA. You could catch him with a shot, throw something on a flying submission, you never know. But the pick's going to have to be Michel Prazares. I like decision. I think he can stop him via submission. Don't think he will, and he'll win by decision. Next up, Kamaru Usman against Alexander Yakovlev. I think this fight's really close. I think that Yakovlev's kind of shown he's making improvements slowly but surely. Outside the UFC, faced some good guys. I mean, he faced Paul Daly. I know he's not a good kind of grappler, you can take him down, but he fought against Rashid Magomedov. Pretty good account of himself in that fight. And then, as I say, he beat George Sullivan coming off a really nice knockout. It was a really, really nice 1-2 that put him down, and then he followed up with some punches in the ground. Came into UFC against Damon Maia, and then he just got laid on for pretty much 3 rounds. Did fairly well off his back, because Maia, you know what he's like once he gets on top. Kamaru Usman, we've seen him in the Ultimate Fighter, the ATT versus the Black Zillions. A fight I'm pretty impressed with. I mean, he had a really nice win against Haider Hassan, submitted him there, and then he fought a guy that I'm a fan of, Leon Edwards. I know Leon hasn't got the wrestling chops and just the grappling chops to hang around with Usman, and that showed in this fight. I think he's been carrying a couple of injuries. He pulled out a fight, if I remember. I think it was UFC 198. It was interesting to see what did he pull out against? Undisclosed reasons. So he's had an injury. He's had to pull himself out of the fight. But what does he bring to the table? A really, really good grappling, wrestling skill set, and he's a grinder, and wherever the fight goes, he will look to, if he's up against the cage, he will grind you out and knee you to the body, just get dirty boxing up in there, take you down, and then he just kind of lays on you, and he progresses very well, looks to get to full mount and just blast you down there. But I think Yakovlev has a really good opportunity to keep this fight standing. If it keeps standing, I think that he can win this fight. Really tempted to pick Alexander Yakovlev. Be interesting to see if he's an underdog. I think he will be an underdog. He might be a guy I actually throw a bet on, because I say I'm betting a lot of underdogs this year. I've hit a lot of underdogs this year. I'm going to go with underdog. I think everybody will go with Kamaru Usman in this one. I think Alexander Yakovlev could give him a run for his money. And I'm going to go with Alexander Yakovlev via a very close split decision. As I say, very, very close fight. But I think that Yakovlev has enough experience against bigger opposition, better opposition possibly, to win this fight. It's a bit of a kind of Hail Mary pick, that one, but I think he can get it done. So I'm going to go Alexander Yakovlev via split decision. Moving on, we have another fight which I think is really, really close. Looking forward to this one. Darren Elkins against Godofredo Pepey. Darren Elkins, we all know what this guy's going to bring. Hard nose, in your face, going to catch you in something, take you down to the ground, lay on you, throw some pitter-patter strikes, let you up, do the exact same again if you can get up. From there, I mean, I think since he's went to Team Alpha Male, I think he's actually progressed as a fighter. I saw him fight Robert Whiteford. Whiteford just couldn't stop the takedown. Just a typical Elkins performance, really. Last time out, I was really impressed. UFC 196, he beat Chaz Skelly, and I thought his all-around game looked very good there. Did enough in the striking to initiate into the grappling and take a really good grapple himself down in Chaz Skelly. But Godofredo Pepey, this is a guy about maybe 18 months to 24 months, maybe 2 years. I thought this guy didn't deserve to be in the UFC whatsoever. He got starched twice in the first round. Felipe Aranches, I think, was the very, I think it was the second TKO in a row. It was the first one, and then he got knocked out by Sam Cecilia. That's it. But then, since then, Noad Lahat got his chin knocked straight off his head with a huge flying knee. First round, performance of the night bonus. Deshaun Johnson, not a UFC caliber fighter, caught him in a really beautiful submission, triangular armbar submission. Fight of the night, performance of the night bonus, another 50 Gs. Then last time out against Andre Fili, I was picking Fili, and I was sure that Andre Fili was going to win this fight. Very first round, a flying triangle, performance of the night bonus in the very first round. So this guy's got 3 first round finishes, 2 via submission, 1 versus with strikes. This is where I think this fight could get really interesting, because we know what Elkins is going to do. He's not going to stand there. He's going to initiate something, and he might leave his neck in there. Now, Godofredo Pepey, he leaps on any opportunity for submissions, triangles, guillotines. I think he's got a wicked submission game when he puts his mind to it. Really interesting fight, because I actually really like watching Darren Elkins fight, because there's a beauty to the whole grappling art, and he's got it down to a T. And this guy's hard to finish. I mean, the only guy that's finished, I think he's 11-3 or 11-4 in the UFC, with his only loss, his stoppage loss, coming to Charles Oliveira and Chad Money Melendez. So I mean, they're legit top 7-8 guys in that featherweight division. I think Castro Pepey can catch him here. I really do. I think the way he leaps on things. Do I think he can do it the first round? Absolutely. But can he do it throughout the whole 3 rounds, even if he decides to get tired and he gasses a little bit? But the thing is, Pepey's been out for nearly 18 months as well, so that's something to take into consideration here as well. Try looking into it. I think he's had a couple of injuries here and there. He's had some personal problems with the family and stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Castro Pepey. I think if he can get off to a really good start, maybe stop the initial 1 or 2 takedowns, we all know that Elkins will come forward and he will continue to look for it. That's all he's going to do, put against the cage, take it down. I think he can catch him with something here, I really do. And you would not catch me saying that 18 to 24 months ago. I'm going to go a submission victory, round number 1 for Pepey, Godofredo Pepey. I think it's another kind of Hail Mary pick, but I think he can get it done. So I'm going to go Pepey first round submission. That would be something if he 4 straight first round finishes, especially against Elkins, but it is a long shot. I'm going to take Pepey though. Bantamweight division, we have Frankie Saenz against Eddie Wineland. It's really interesting to see where Eddie Wineland is within his career here, because he is a guy, ever since that kick against Renan Barão, he has not looked the same. And I mean, he got outstruck by Brian Caraway, and that was his bread and butter beforehand. He was really tough on the feet, just all around a good fighter. I thought that Caraway would need to take the fight to the ground to win the fight. Wasn't the case. He had enough on the feet to keep Wineland at bay. So it'll be interesting to see when was that fight, because I know he's had a long break since that fight. That was, let me see, July, so 1 year ago. Before that, he got knocked out by Johnny Eduardo. That was not a nice knockout from him there. Yves Dubuin knocked him out. He was on the lower end. He was retiring at that time. Thomas Almeida did that after that. But since that Renan Barão fight, he's just really not looked the same. Spinning back kick got taken down and got pounded out. But in this fight here, Frankie Saenz, I thought he gave a great account of himself against Uriah Faber and was very unlucky to lose that fight, I believe. But his overall kind of grappling and his kind of clinch work was really, really impressive. Beat Yuri Alcantara, which was a big, I think it was like a 7 or 8 to 1 underdog for that fight. Cashed that. I like Saenz in this one. I think he's going to have enough in the feet to kind of keep him at bay, and then he's going to get takedowns on Wineland here. I can't see Wineland being able to keep this fight completely on the feet. So my pick will be Frankie Saenz via kind of very horrible decision. But it's up to Eddie Wineland to make this a fight here, because we all know what Saenz is going to do here. Moving on to the main card. I can't believe this is on a Fox main card. Felice Herrig against Kailin Curran. I am a fan of Kailin Curran. I love the Hawaii fighters. I just love the spirit and the heart and the determination they have. But it's hard to pick this girl, because I think I said it in the last fight, she was against Emily Kagan back in December. I mentioned it in that video. Her fight IQ is something I do not like, and it showed in the Alex Chambers fight. Winning that fight, and then she gets involved in something she really shouldn't, and gets taken down and gets submitted. And just a silly manoeuvre, which I think hopefully she's learned from, but you just don't know. Felice Herrig, it's been a while since we've seen her. She got kind of pounded out, not pounded out, but pounded kind of quite hard by Paige Van Zandt. It was a tough fight for her there. Started off, nearly had Paige in a couple of awkward situations with submissions, and nearly caught her with something. Faded out. Van Zandt's tenacity and just aggression kept coming forward, and she won that fight. Really want to pick Kailin Curran here, but people with bad fight IQs, we've seen it with Mehdi Baghdad not long ago. He hurt John McDesson, went for a flying submission. Just stupid fight IQ. Has she kind of went away from that so quick? I don't think she has. If Curran is the underdog, which I believe she will be, I will probably maybe throw her in a parlay or a bet some way, because I like doing a little parlay with underdogs on occasions. But I think the smart pick here is Felice Herrig, and I hate saying that because I'm not a Felice Herrig fan. I don't see what all the buzz is about her, because I don't even think she's that good a looking gal, if I'm being honest with you. Just doesn't do it for me. But it's going to be Felice Herrig. I think 3 rounds. She's got the submission advantage if it goes to the ground. Striking, I think Curran's got that. I think Herrig's going to find a way to take this to the ground and get a unanimous decision victory. Hope Kailin Curran pulls through and does it though. Heavyweight division, Francis Ngannou against Bojan Mihajlovic. This is 100% a showcase fight for Francis Ngannou, because Bojan Mihajlovic is not a good heavyweight fighter. Fought cans out in the regional divisions, just not a good fighter. Where Francis Ngannou, he came in, beat Luis Enrique, beat Curtis Blades, I believe it was, and he looks a prospect. It's hard to say because he's really faced nobody pretty decent yet. But the UFC are pushing this guy to maybe be something. I like Francis Ngannou in this one. His athleticism is pretty good for a big guy. He's just a man mountain of a guy. I'm going to go Francis Ngannou via knockout. I think when you get these debuting heavyweights, especially like Mihajlovic, who's really fought nobody like Ngannou, you have to go with him. He's fighting out American top team. He looks spectacular for that division. He could make a run within the next 18 months for sure. Ngannou, first round knockout. Co-main event, great fight. Edson Barboza against Gilbert Melendez, the returning El Nino Gilbert Melendez. Happy to see him back. Let's start with Edson Barboza. What does this guy have in his arsenal? Pinpoint accurate striking to the nth degree. I mean, I was there for UFC 197, and to be honest with you, the guy that I was cheering on more than, Demetrius Jones, the guy I cheer on a lot, Jones, but let's not talk about that guy anymore because I don't think we're going to see him anytime soon, was, for me, Anthony Pettis. He's one of my favourite fighters. But I was sitting there in the MGM, and it was a pleasure, an absolute pleasure to watch Edson Barboza fight the way he fought that night. Just spectacular. Leg kicks, see the noises those leg kicks make, it's incredible. And you can just, it's like thuds, and you're like, fuck, I would hate to take some of them and continually take them over a 15-minute period. He was just quicker to the strike. He was so accurate, pinpoint accurate. And the funny thing with this was, me and my boy Dan Levy were having a drink after the fights, went outside if we were having a drink, and Edson Barboza comes round, and I'm standing there in my Showtime Anthony Pettis shirt. Went up to the guy, said to him, look, I know I'm standing here in a Pettis shirt. I am a huge Pettis fan, I always will be, but that performance was incredible. Striking, the accuracy and the power that he showed in that was unbelievable, and he's a thoroughly nice guy. Wish him nothing but the best. I've been a fan of his. It was a little bit awkward, me in the Pettis shirt, but he was a complete professional, a really good guy, saying no problem, we've all got fans of other fighters and stuff like that. But just a really solid guy, really good fighter. Chin issues, a little bit cardio issues. Melendez could exploit that here. But let's get into Gilbert Melendez here, a guy who's been around for many years. For many years, champion in other organisations. Coming back off a layoff because he got popped for something. That Eddie Alvarez fight, I thought he could have won that fight personally. He could have easily got the nod. But in your face, scrap pack fighter, great jiu-jitsu, great striking, relentless striking, comes forward. I thought his fight with Pettis, he showed a little bit of really silly fight IQ. He dove in those legs and Pettis caught him with a guillotine choke. Will that layoff hurt him in this one? I don't know. Edson Barboza, I don't think he's ever looked better in the UFC. Even his losses, like to Tony Ferguson, he looked fairly decent in that one. I find it hard to pick Gilbert Melendez, to be honest with you. I think that Barboza's just going to piece him up in the feet, kick those legs out, use that wearing jab that he has. He's in and out, his footwork's unbelievable. Just thinking about it now, the Pettis fights, and it just, in fact, I might actually go and watch that fight after I finish videoing this. It's going to be Edson Barboza. I think he's going to piece him up over 3 rounds. And when he might lose a round in there, but I think a unanimous decision victory for Edson Barboza is what's going to go down here. But good luck to Melendez, because he's a fighter I've always enjoyed watching. But my pick's going to be Edson Barboza Jr. And the main event of the night, we have Holly Holm against Valentina the Bullet Shevchenko. Really fun fight. Really interesting matchmaking. I think it's a tough fight for Holly Holm coming back off that loss to Miesha Tate. Let's kind of get that out there. The Miesha Tate fight, she fought a great fight. She did what she had to do, because you cannot engage with Miesha Tate. She's like a dog on a bone. Once she gets you a hold of something, she will get you down there. So she had to stay at distance, pot shot or get out, move. Pot shot, get out, move. And she did that for the first round, certainly. 3 and 4, definitely. I thought the second round was a 10-8. She really got away with that one in the second round. Really did well, to be fair. But then the 5th round got caught. So you can't really take too much away from that fight. She fought a good fight. She just got caught by the more hungrier fighter. And that happens sometimes. But with Valentina Shevchenko, I think it's a really good matchup. Style matchup for her, personally. It's hard to pick against Holly Holm, because we know the skills that she's got on the feet, with her movement, with her striking. But Shevchenko I think she's a scary girl in this bantamweight division. I really do. I think what she needs to do in this fight is she needs to really get off to a fast start. Against Amanda Nunes, she didn't do that. She was 2 rounds down, and going into round number 3, she really put a heart in Amanda Nunes. If that was a 5-round fight, Shevchenko was finishing this the minute it hit the 4th round, in my opinion. World champion Muay Thai kickboxer, world champion kickboxer, beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk 3 times. There's not many people that can stand up with Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I know there's probably a weight disparity because where they're fighting at now, but Shevchenko, I really like watching her. Really good footwork. One of the best counter punchers, I think, personally, in the UFC. She slips shots very, very well. And she just looks really, really fun in the feet. Against Sarah Kaufman, UFC debut, she showed more kind of wrinkles to her games. Up against the cage, initiated the takedown, and was very kind of dominant down the ground as well. I'm going to pick Valentina Shevchenko, and I've already bet Valentina Shevchenko. She is over here in Britain right now. She is a 3. I can't remember. I'm doing American. I'm doing more American these days than I am that. But I got her for plus 340, which is like 3 to 1 odds, 3.5 to 1 odds. So I have put big money on Valentina Shevchenko, looking for this to cash. Tough fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight personally. But I like Shevchenko. I think she has the more tools on the feet. I think she has to cut off the octagon a little bit more. And she can catch Holly Holm. I think she can really hurt Holly Holm in the feet. As long as she can really cut off the angles of Holly Holm. My pick's going to be Valentina Shevchenko. It has to be via decision. I can't see her knocking out Holly Holm. She could definitely catch her, but my pick's going to be Valentina Shevchenko via unanimous decision. So that is my picks here for UFC on Fox, whichever number it is. I can't remember. It's number 20. So I'll be back for UFC 201 next week. A couple of days I'm going to do that. Robbie Lawler against Tyron Woodley. And then we've got Yair Rodriguez against Alex Caceres. And probably one of the worst cards of the year. But still, Rodriguez is must-watch TV. Tough fight there against Caceres. Great to be back. Sorry I missed that last video, guys. Come follow me on Twitter, Will Martin MMA. And follow all the good guys that I will link down below. There's many good guys out there that you should be watching their stuff if you have the time to. Bookie Beatdowns, other guys I should really mention, because they put out great stuff. I could go on for days with people that you should watch, but I will link them below. Please go support, and because we all should support each other with this here. Give me a like, if you can, share if you can, subscribe if you can, and I'll be back for UFC 201 from the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, my man Dan Levy's hometown. Catch you all then.